I just got back from ITNation Grow in Houston. What a wonderful event. It's early February 2025. I got to speak to 10 great guests at this ITNation Grow as part of Evolve, which are the peer groups, which I was a member of for, oh my goodness, close to 20 years. I was a facilitator for a while in the managed service provider industry. But I was invited to go there. Grow is a particular event in the middle of the Evolve meetings and on the Wednesday, where it talks to MSPs about looking to when they're going to make their exit, if they're going to merge, get acquired, or acquire others. It's quarterly event, but I had 10 great conversations. It started with Cass Lawrence from Blumera. Great conversation with Cass, Brian Hoppy, Kevin Hogsmoser, who I've spoken to before, John Cooper, TJ Jackson was a great conversation with TJ, Tom Hermstead, great conversation. I first time I spoke to Tom. Hardin Byers, my goodness, I've known Hardin for 15 years. I haven't seen him. He was back. They're putting the band back together. I had a great conversation with Hardin, Nick Recker, MSP, Blue Alliance. Never spoken to Nick before. Great conversation. Sean Brown, my friend for many, many years. He's got an exciting new consulting firm along with his MSP that keeps growing. And Dr. Larry Little. I had the great pleasure of knowing Larry for 15 years. Haven't seen him for, my goodness, 5-6 years. And we caught up and we caught everything on camera. It was a great conversation. So I want to thank all those guests. I want to thank Arlen Sorensen for inviting me, Matthew Lavender, Scott Scroggin, and all of ConnectWise. Just a wonderful event. One of the breakouts at the Grow event. Had my two very good friends, Brian O'Shaughnessy and Rob Bruce, talking to the group via Teams, via virtual, about their merger, which is a great event. Proud and glad to be part of it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How did I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others.
Yeah, I get to say, and Joe, you're so good looking. I don't understand.
Look at you. You don't look. You look the same.
I want to thank you for that. So
You
do
look
you.
the same. You look great.
Come on.
Yes.
Are you playing any golf?
Not this trip, but I moved to Tampa.
Tampa.
Yes. So once I became empty nest, I was wintering there.
Yes.
And now I'm there, so I get to play 12 months now.
Do you so what's your as we sit here today, what would you say your handicap is?
It's higher than it's been in a while. It's in the like high fives.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, my handicap that would be 55 for me. Yeah. That is amazing.
That's all right.
Are you loving life?
I'm loving life. My kids are healthy. Why is Italian food the best food in the world?
Italian food is amazing.
Yes.
I think it's because it's made with such passion from the Italian people. You know, we were over in Italy recently, and there's no way to describe. So how do you describe the wonderful pizzas that come out over there? Hot, just so hot. It's a culture thing. They have to have them hot, or they think they're no good. And then, oh my gosh, the wonderful Alfredo sauce, the wonderful red sauces, the meatballs, Italian food. It is just nothing. Seriously, nothing. It's comfort food.
Yes.
It's delicacy.
Yes.
It's wonderfulness. I think. Don't you think?
Do you want to connect with business leaders and engage consumers who take action? The Joey Pinz podcast delivers high-impact conversations to an audience of decision makers, entrepreneurs, and professionals across multiple industries. A fast-growing audience of highly engaged listeners, both B2B and B2C. Millions of listens and views across YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Brands that sponsor us see real engagement, conversations, and brand loyalty. Whether you're looking to sell a service, promote a product, or establish thought leadership, our sponsorships offer premium ad placements, exclusive episode sponsorships, full season branding, and event partnerships. Don't just advertise, become part of the conversation. Visit us at joeypins.com/sponsor to get started, or email us at sales@joeypins.com. Joey Pinz Podcast, where thought leaders, brands connect. I've been going. I told you my story. My father sent me over there when I was 10. I don't know if you remember. First day of summer, after third grade, first day of summer, and he gives me a suitcase, and he says, put your clothes in here, and I do so. And he proceeds to bring me to the bus in New Haven, tells the bus driver to drop me off Terminal 1 JFK, gives me a plane ticket and a picture of my grandmother. So as a 10-year-old, I get on the bus. Didn't even bring me to the airport, Larry. And I get to JFK, and I ask people. I get on a flight, and I fly to Milan, and I meet my grandmother my uncle for the first time.
10-year-old?
10, yeah. So now he'd be arrested, of course.
Of course.
Yes. But so I got exposed to it as a very young age, and so I would go back many, many summers, and nobody spoke English, and they would argue over who fed me, so it was... so it was it's very wonderful. And so, but you've made many trips to Italy. I've talked to you about this before.
I love Italy.
Yeah. Why do you go back?
I love it. I love the people. I love the land. I love the beauty. We spent a week at Sorrento. Oh my goodness. It came out. It's Sorrento.
Sorrento.
Sorrento. Got to get it right. We'd come out of our place we were staying. I mean, Joe, walk right onto the beach.
Yes.
Onto the water, and the people would. I mean, it was just amazing. The friendliness, how they were so glad we were there. The shops, I can't even describe it all. It was a wonderful. That was the end. Went to Italy. We went to Rome and some other places, but then ended up spending a week there in Sorrento. And that was amazing. I don't know. There's something. It renews your soul.
It does.
Joe,
it does. Just a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not better or worse. It's just different.
Just different.
It's just different.
It's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
I will say this. This past year we went to Spain, Portugal, Malaga. Spent a
very nice.
Some time in Malaga, and it was wonderful. It was so good. But it wasn't Italy.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
It's different.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it right there. Just different. It's good. It's different.
When people go, I always give them 3 pieces of advice. 1, when you want to find somewhere to eat, ask the police. Everybody else gets paid. Taxi drivers, Uber, everybody gets paid.
It.
Cops will be honest with you.
Ask the police.
Yeah,
I love it.
2, if the menu is in English, keep going. You want it to be in Italian.
That's so good.
And even better if it's on chalk.
Yes,
that's fresh.
Yes.
And 3rd, the wine in the carafe is better than anything in a bottle. It's local. It's less expensive.
So good.
And so a lot has to do with food.
This.
Those are the 3 I give. Yeah.
I remember that. I want to go.
So we're here in Houston. ITNation, Evolve, Grow is here. What are some of your goals here, Larry? It's so great to have you back.
It's so good to be. So here's the thing. I got a phone call from leadership here. They said, hey, here was a question. Literally. I said, Larry, would you be interested in getting the band back together?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, I'm at a place. I have a tremendous team. Yes. They do a tremendous job. So I don't have to travel.
Right.
They do a beautiful job. And I get to kind of work on our business and writing, and the book's coming out just this spring. So I don't do this anymore. But when they said, You want to get the band back together. That's Brad. That's Harden.
yes.
That's Andre. That's Joe. I mean, that's you.
Harden.
Harden. I
Yes.
said, yes. I said, I'll do it. I'll do it. And that's why I'm here. And it's been I've enjoyed it. It's been so good to see the folks. Had the opportunity to speak this morning and then lead a couple of rooms. I did, I tried to draw some boundaries this time because, I used to come and, man, I would just be in rooms from can to can.
You would,
I mean, my buddy's like, you can't do that. But it's been so good, and this is a special place, special memory, 25 years. We had to celebrate it. And it's been a lot of fun.
Now, despite people might hear when they hear you talk, you're not from New Jersey.
Right? They think I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll say, "Are you from New Jersey?" Some Maine, some maybe Boston. No,
it's not.
I know you think I am, but no,
and that's quite all right. But you're 4 personality types: the lion, the camel, the monkey. I mean, this is in the beginning of HTG. This is everything we went by. These were everything that you did. It was all your way. And I remember you having sessions that we would learn more about it. And the turtle, you don't tap on the turtle, has this evolved? Where is that?
Yeah, it really has. In fact, I will tell you that our company has evolved to the place where we're now doing organizational assessments, platform online. We help PE organizations assess the organizational leadership of the companies they're acquiring, and we help other companies assess their own organizational leaderships through online tools and quantitative and qualitative data that we give them. So it's really, we've turned into a global organization because of the team. They just do a tremendous job of offering the resources and strategic planning that we do, and so it's been a lot of fun to kind of watch that develop and grow within our own team. But one of the things that you'll be interested in, I'm going to give you a little inside baseball, right? So the Make a Difference book, 25 years. We last year we discovered that over 1 million people have taken the test.
Wow.
So I said, it's time to do something different. And I had been doing a little data and taking some data through the years. And we are rolling out next month the brand new 25th edition of the Make a Difference book, where I added completely new chapter. I wrote a note to explain some of the things that we're doing. But, Joe, we made a hard decision. And so we decided to change one of the personality traits. Yeah. And what happened was, I started listening and asking and collecting data, and the much-loved monkey was offensive to some of my black friends and to some of the people that I work. And it was, interestingly, I surveyed older African Americans, younger, mid-range, and I found that there was the younger ones, especially the younger ones in the work, and that just. My heart would never do anything to offend or hurt.
Never.
So we thought about it for a long time. And then we said, okay, we've got to go through all of our content, all of our materials, all of our stuff. If we're going to do this, to change it, we've got to change everything. And it'll be rolled out when we roll out our new 25th edition book. So the much-loved monkey is going to change. It will now be the people-loving parrot. People-loving parrot. Everything else will be the same. All the qualities, all of the people skills, and all that, it will be the same. But a new branding. Everything will be branded differently. It may not be the smartest thing to do, because Make a Difference has been around for so long, 25 years. Yeah. But it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah. And we all have a little monkey in us.
We all have a little monkey, and I know I do. And so some of the people that grew up with it for years, professionally, they'll still use monkey, and it's fine. I'm not legalistic. I just want to provide a way to encourage and enrich and help people to be their best. And I don't want a stumbling block. I don't want to have anything to be a stumbling block for that. So there you go, Inside Scoop coming out.
Look at that,
new edition,
reflection of the times. Yeah.
And
when you write, is it pen to paper? How do you? what's your process?
No. It's laptop. I generally go to the beach. And I do laptop. Sometimes I'll do voice to laptop, but most of the time it's typing it out. It takes a long time. I'm just finished a book I've been working on for a year. It's called well, it's not quite finished. I got to finish the conclusion, but it's called Crossing Generational Lines. And just a teaser, the book opens with me attending my own funeral.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, Crossing Generational Lines comes out in this spring, I think. Yeah.
How many books have you written?
Oh my, 6 maybe. I think now. I think this is number 6.
Wow. And you still love it?
Love it. Love it. Love what I do. Love the opportunity. Now I had to kind of reframe. We're starting a new company. It's an app-based organization. It's called Relationships, like when you shift one way to the other. And it's about making little shifts that make a big difference. Little shifts in your behavior that can make a big. And so it's app based. You'll get little tips and it's personality driven. Find that out, and then what can I do to better communicate to my wife, to my husband, to my child, and you'll get little tips sent to you, sent to your email. And we're real excited about that. So that's coming out this year. Standing Up Relationships. I just love it, Joe. I'm still having fun, and if it's helping people, I had just talked to a guy that said, I just need you to know that you gave me handlebars. He didn't say handlebars. He said, you gave me the ability to talk to my wife, and you gave her the ability to, by using those word pictures and by using the understanding of it. He said, we have been able to have these conversations that we could never have if we didn't understand that. That's why I do what I do. That's bottom line.
Yeah, the impact there.
Yeah, bottom line.
Author, coach, speaker, business owner. You wear so many hats. Which do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I do. I wear a lot of hats. I love being an entrepreneur. I love seeing things. I love, I can just, I don't know, it's crazy, but I can see like relationships. That is so exciting to me. My business partner, you remember Melissa Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
She and I have been visioning this and working on this for so long, and it's just so fun to build it and to see. So I love that part. My weakest part that is probably running in the business. I'm not very good at it. But luckily I have a team, and we have now developed these leaders. Kudos to Melissa again. She meets with them and leads. She's the COO of our company, and she leads them. And these leaders, kudos to them, they have grown muscles where they didn't have them in leadership.
Wow.
So now they're able to really bring solutions, and that kind of frees me up to do what I love, which is writing, thinking, building tools, creating. I love all of that. I love that part of it, and so it's fun to be able to do that, and to be able to go to Italy and not worry, because I have an incredible team that I don't even think about it. They're amazing.
Your approach to all these hats that you wear, is it more art or science?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's both. I think the science is you better be competent. The science of it is you better have a process. You better have a organization. Boy, I could not do it from muscle and feel. I just couldn't balance all these balls. I think the art of it is, though, you have to be able to juggle effectively, and you have to be able not to let what's going on over here affect what you're doing over here on the other side, right? Because I even told you that we also have a large counseling practice.
Amazing.
That's not Eagle Center for Leadership. It's all under Eagle Consulting, but a very large counseling practice that'll see, 15,000 to 20,000 sessions a year.
Wow.
And 3 locations and in telehealth, and they do a great job, but we have to, I'm ultimately the CEO of that both organizations. So it's a lot of hats. So the art is, well, just like when you juggle, you have to be able to keep those balls in the air and not, quite frankly, not let it burn you out. And right.
That's why you go to Italy.
That's why you go to Italy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of energy, and I'm so appreciative that God gave me the ability to have a lot of energy. At the same time, you overuse that, you burn out. And so I have to retreat back, and I call it my turtle time. I have to find that balance to go back and so that I can go keep these balls juggling and plates spinning, whatever you want to use.
What kind of role does faith play in your life?
Huge. Thank you for asking that question. So all of our coaches, all of our counselors, all of our admin, all of our facilitators are believers. And it's because the reason that it is because we are all, it's part of our core, we are called to do what we do. None of us are doing this. We're not counseling. We're not admin. We're not coaching. We're not facilitating conferences. We're not teaching seminars. We're not doing any of these things for the money. Now, money is great. It allows us to do other things. But our team will hear me say all the time, we're not chasing the dollar here. We're here because we're called. We believe God called us. I believe that God called us. And when this thing started, I knew there was a need. I saw the need. I felt like God was given a vision to go and to meet, and other people, bought into that vision. And we have for 25 years, this will be our 26th year this year, have seen what God has done. This is His work. It's not ours. So the growth, and we've had ridiculous growth, and it's not anything other than God's blessing on us. And we're so thankful because we feel like He called us and put it. So when all of your people are called to do what they do, it sets a different tone for the company and different. So my faith is the core component of our why. It is our why, and it starts with me and goes down to the newest employee,
Your brand deserves to be in front of the right audience decision makers, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are ready to take action. That's exactly who listens to the Joey Pinz podcast. Thousands of engaged business leaders and consumers tune in every week. Millions of views and listens across YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Sponsors see real impact, higher engagement, brand trust, and conversations. We offer strategic partnerships tailored to your goals, including targeted ad placements, branded guest appearances, multi-episode and event sponsorships. Make your brand part of the conversation. Let's grow together. Visit joeypinz.com/sponsor to explore sponsorship opportunities, or email us at sales@joeypinz.com. The Joey Pinz podcast, where brands and thought leaders connect. And if there's an employee or a partner that doesn't share that value of faith, is there a collision there?
Yeah, there's a collision. There's an issue there, and we really have to, we want to be wise. We have a lot of partners, and we try to. But if you're in the core decision-making group of our company, Melissa and I are very, it's just a non-negotiable for us. You're going to be faith-based, but now we have, understand we have partners that have different, and it doesn't affect who we. Who we serve on the counseling side. We serve everyone and everyone. It doesn't matter about their faith or the clients. It doesn't matter on the other side. We can't fly the flag of faith when we're at our large Fortune 100 companies, and we have them that. But we don't have to fly that because they know we believe we have to earn the right to speak into their lives. So that's so the clients are so diverse. But when it comes to the decision makers of our company that we believe God called us to establish, those who are in leadership roles, really have to be called. You just have to be called. Now, it's not a denomination. It's not a religion. It's just about are you called to do this? And if you're not going to be a good fit for us.
What is it about MSPs you like working with?
Well, I love MSPs because I started when it was 25 years ago. Yes. I mean, I think I was part of that, and these guys and gals are just they're so authentic, they're so real. They're always over my head on the technical side. I have no idea, but you know what? They really they want to grow, they want to learn. If I could be like Joe. That's my deal. If I could just, you are the success story. You are the success story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing about you, I always equated two letters with you, and that's UC.
Joe, you remembered.
Upper crust.
Upper crust. That's you, Joe. That's amazing. That is awesome. Yes, UC, Joe. That's you.
As you specifically. Has there been anything in the last month or so that you changed your mind on?
Oh my goodness, yes. Which, I had to. It's not even. I mean, it's longer than a month, but I changed my mind on the much loved monkey. I had to change. I had to turn because it was the right thing to do. I had to change my mind on. I had to change my mind on a lot, Joe. I think, but I try to be open on relationships. We started in one direction with the relationships, but upon listening and learning from others and inquiring from a marketing strategy, from a purpose strategy, from how we're going to roll it. I totally had to change direction, so it kind of set us back because we're starting over. Let's start it another, but it's worth it. It's the right thing to do, and so I try to think through what are my non-negotiables, what are the pillars of my life that I won't change my mind on. I don't think unless God will intervene. But you know what? There are few of those. but they're solid. Most things I have an opinion about, I have a preference about, I have a thought about. You know. But conviction is very different, and I think it's very rare might be the word, but it's very narrow of what I would say. I know for certain there are a few, but other than my faith and my family, most of the time I'm open to learning and growing, and I may make a decision, and we will move forward unless data shows me that we need to, or I'm convinced that we need to turn the other way, and then we'll turn. So I have to be careful with that too, because the flip side of that is being wishy-washy. You want to make sure you're not just all over the road. So try to provide direction and clarity for our team. This year we're doing what's called mountain flying, and mountain flying is a takeoff on curve jumping. But in curve jumping, when you jump from curve to curve, you jump from peak to peak. Well, when you're on the peak, you're on the plateau, so you're only one way to go is down. So I said, no, let's mountain fly, because eagle, let's mountain fly. Mountain fly means on the curve, on the mountain, when you're climbing the mountain, right before you peak, that's where all your momentum is going. You're really, that's where things are hard. It's the hardest piece. That's where you fly. You fly before you peak, and then you fly, go ahead and peak and fly to the next accelerated mountain, to the next curve part, and then you get that momentum going and you fly again.
Wow.
So it's saying, where are we going to mountain fly in 2025? And our team did a beautiful job of bringing us, here's where we're going, places we've never flown before, and we took all of their stuff and we kind of brought it down. Give us three. Our directors did this. They brought it to us, and in all of our services, coaching, facilitating, platforms, consulting, they brought it to us. And we narrowed it down, and now they're out chasing that mountain. They're flying to places taking us to places we've never been before.
Wow.
So, yeah. I don't know how I got off on that, but yeah, that's what we're doing in 2025.
What lessons can MSPs or just small businesses learn from some of the things that you failed at and learned quickly that we were just talking about?
Leadership matters. Yeah, leadership is incredibly important. We need to show, as small businesses, as small MSPs, we need to show our team how to fail, and we need to own our own stuff, and we need to learn to say I'm sorry, and we need to show them that failure is not fatal unless you don't get up and you don't try again. So I think that's the biggest thing is these guys, and gals, if they could remember that a leader is a leader, whether at home or in the office, and be authentic about that. They have the Superman syndrome because they're just, they're trying to do everything and they feel the responsibility is so heavy on them. And if they could realize that, no, what I need to be doing is serving my people, listening to them, learning about them, and leading by providing questions that would allow them to be innovative. So MSPs they really have to remember, because they're a task-driven industry. This is task. They're all about the IT stuff. Okay, great, but there's a people component that you've got to pay attention to. And if you don't pay attention to it, your business is going to struggle.
What's the difference between a leader and a manager?
So a manager manages things, and a leader leads people. A manager can organize well and manage, what the tasks are. He can do a workflow, a to-do list, logistics coordinator. All of those are managing things. But a leader leads people. He or she invests, and he or she coaches. They guide. They mentor. They hold accountable. All of those are things that are leadership competencies. And if you find yourself interesting, you need both.
Yes.
If you find yourself just managing, then your culture is going to go down the tube. If you find yourself just leading people without the process in it, then you're not going to get anything. Then you're just going to dream a lot.
I've had to have hard conversations with managers who thought they were leaders. Have you ever done that? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
Be careful.
The hard part about that is the hard conversation comes from, if you come from a place of, first of all, competency where, okay, you're not getting, but second of all, what's their heart? And if I have a manager that, they're really wanting to do the right thing, they just don't have, if their heart is there, I find it's easier. I can have those conversations. I can kind of help them navigate. The hard part is when the manager doesn't know what he or she doesn't know, and they refuse to grow. My whole litmus test on that is moving from a manager to leader. Do they have the capacity? Do they have the desire? Do they have that commitment? Do they really want to do it? If they do, we can evaluate. But if they don't have the capacity, and by that I mean the ability to grow at the next level, then we have to find a place where they can continue to manage, right? But I don't know that I in thinking that out loud, Joe, I think it's, it'd be awful hard for me to leave a manager in a position if they didn't have the people side or the desire to lead on the people side.
It's a tough one, and you got to be careful. Sometimes there's an ego there, and you got to be delicate.
You do. You have to be delicate, and sometimes though it's great to have an SME just right there. Do what you do, but let's stay away from the people.
Subject matter expert. Yeah, absolutely. So I started my MSP in the 90s. I'm sure I told you this before, Larry, and I was working way too hard, 14-hour days. You're very, very familiar with this, and not paying attention to my health, putting it in the back seat, and I'm in front of the doctor, and she tells me that I'm 340 pounds and says to me, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. So I'm driving home and I'm, hitting the steering wheel. How did I do this to myself? How did I put my health? It's not me anymore. It's not me. It's a family. I have a family now. So I spent the next 6-7 months. I lost 130 pounds. And, you can't look at it as a finishing line, right? People often do because there are many people that gain it right back.
Right.
It's life changes.
That's
lifelong. It's not
right.
temporary. So people want a quick fix. How'd you do it? What's your secret? And there's no secret. Discipline. That's how I lost it. That's how I keep it on. I got motivation. Yes. I got routine. How does discipline play a role in your life, Dr. Larry Little?
It is the essential tool for my life, Joe. I will tell you this. Every morning, 5 days a week, I get up and I go upstairs and I do 100 push-ups. I do 600 crunches. I do sit-ups on a ball. I do stretches. I do leg presses. I do leg stretches and presses, and then I get on the elliptical every morning. But now, and when I'm here, I do the same. If I can get to that gym before my first meeting, I'm up and I'm there. Do I feel like doing it? No. Do I? And I've been doing this now, Joe, for years and years and years.
You
and
look
the reason,
great.
Thank you for that.
You look fantastic.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I work at it, but it's a lifestyle commitment. It's not a lifestyle feeling. If I allowed my feelings to drive my behavior, I'd be in that bed till whenever I need to get up to get to work. But no, it's about a choice I made that I want my back to be protected. I had back issues, and the doctor said, "Look," he gave me a book. He said, "You can do these, or you can have surgery." So I started doing those, but then from there I grew to this routine that I have of doing this exercise that I can do. The secret is I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do. So a coach told me one time, a college basketball coach said, "Larry, it's not about the amount of weights you lift it's about doing consistently. It's about getting, doing enough that you would do it every day." So for 5 days a week, I'm doing 100 push-ups. I'm doing whatever on the lift. I know I can do that. I know, now if I know I can do it, the next step is, okay, I got it. I got it so I can do it. It's not something that, get in your car and drive 10 miles to the gym. No, I'm not going to do that. I know I can do this. It's upstairs. The second piece then is choice. Do I want to choose to do it? And that takes the feelings out of it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it for years, and it has worked for me. I wanted to lose some weight. Last year I wanted to lose some weight. I was a little bit over. I had a little tummy on me and that kind of thing. So I made a choice.
Wow.
I said, I'm going to lose weight. Lost 30 pounds. Not like you, Joe. You were amazing how you did yours. I don't such discipline. But I lost 30 pounds. Started on April 1st, and by I think it was September, I had lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
So.
And you kept it off.
And I keep it off because I know, once again, I have a routine that works for my body. I know what I do works, so I keep doing that. It's a lifestyle. I'm not gonna, I'm not doing it to achieve. I'm where I want to be. I'm not trying to lose a unhealthy amount. I am trying to work the process and the lifestyle that I can take in, for the rest of my life, right? But when you're exercising regularly, right, and then you cut back on your calories, it's going to happen. So all of that is about choosing. None of that. I would love to just eat, just eat and eat back, but that's unhealthy, and it's being led by the wrong emotion. So for me, discipline is about making a choice. It's about not allowing my feelings to drive my behavior. I went a long way around the world to say that, but that's true.
That's wonderful. Had you always had discipline instilled in you as a child?
That is a great question, and I can say that I'm the oldest child of two. I grew up very resilient. I grew up, I always thought differently. I can't really explain that to you. I will tell you that a quick story. I was on the Pee Wee football team, and I was in All Stars. And my dad tells a story. He was driving me around in All Stars. Back in the day, you sold candy bars if you were on the All Star team, and there was this 10-speed bike. Well, we were not wealthy people. I didn't have a 10-speed bike, and I knew I had no chance of getting a 10-speed bike unless I could possibly do this. So I said, Dad, you got to take me. And he's tired. He goes, no, I'm ready to go home. We're in the car. We'd sold a few bars. I said, no, Dad, let's keep just one more. Go to this fire. He goes, we're not going into that fire station. I said, go to the fire station, Dad. He got mad at me because he was ready to go home, and I'm pushing my dad for some reason. I went to that fire. They bought every candy bar I had, and I won the 10-speed bicycle. Wow. He said I would have never believed it. So the moral of that story is, I guess there was something. I've always been driven, and but I have always asked, and I will tell you this, Joe, I'll share this with you. Since I was 12 years old, I've asked for wisdom. I've asked God to give me wisdom that I don't deserve.
Interesting.
And I still pray that prayer today, every day. God, give me wisdom. So I think He has wisdom to see that if you live your life based on emotion, if you live your life based on instant gratification, if you live your life doing what's easy, you're not going to fulfill what you could have. You're not going to reach the potential that maybe you could have. If you live a life based on choice, discipline, wisdom, those are kind of, I would hope there would be key components of my
That's
my world.
Wonderful. What motivates you as we sit here today?
I think God has given me a love for people.
Yeah.
I will tell when I walked out of that session I had just a minute ago, and the guy came to me and said, I just need you to know that what you're doing saved my wife and I.
Wow.
Our relationship. We are now able to talk about things we could never talk about. So those kinds of things light me up when I see the difference that we can make. And that make a difference is my vision, and it's not just a frivolous, overused phrase. I'm really passionate about speaking into the lives of others. If I could see that, I can see that I could help them. I believe that's my ultimate call in life.
And given that motivation, Larry, how do you measure success?
When I wake up in the morning, God, am I fulfilling the purpose? I do not measure success by how much money I made. Right. It's wonderful to make money.
Sure.
I love that's not. I look back and go, well, that's really nice. But one of my core values is growth. So my success is, am I growing as a person? If I'm a better thinker, better question asker, better businessman, better dad, better husband, if I continue to grow every day, that's success for me. If I continue to grow in the business world, if I see growth in what we're doing to help others, and I see that growth, scale out so that the impact is bigger, that's exciting to me. That's success. When I see stagnation, that's failure. When I see, movement backward, that's failure. So it really drives me crazy, right? And the problem with that is, I'm so driven by growth. I see opportunity, and I have to be very careful because sometimes, just because the opportunity is there and I see it doesn't mean I ought to necessarily go chase it, right? So that's a challenge, but I am driven by growth. I truly am.
And that's really a process of continuing to be uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. When I get comfortable, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Complacency just sets in.
And when that happens, I know I've got to do something. It's like, I'll tell you this. I had COVID in 2020 in January, one of the earliest cases of COVID. And I was on a trip flying and doing it, and I know I got it on the airplane, I'm sure. Got back and I was in bad shape. I was trying to work from home, but I would have a meeting and then I'd go to the bed. I would get in the shower, Joe, and have purple running down I could see purple all the way down my chest, down my arms, so my brain wasn't getting the air. My friend, who's my doctor, was trying his best to help me. He said, we're trying to get the airways. I couldn't kick this thing. I couldn't kick it. And I was just really down. I'd been home now like 6 weeks. I couldn't get, and then of course they were shutting things down.
Yeah.
So finally my wife, who was a camel, I never forget it. Yeah, she came to me and she said, look, I've never seen you like this. She said, I think you're going into depression. She said, because I couldn't get, okay, she goes, whoa. You've got to come out of this. So I thought about what she said, and I thought, now, how is the best way for me to, what can I do? At that point, I made a choice. I didn't feel like it. I felt horrible. But I said, I'm going to walk to the driveway. And then the next day, I'm going to walk down to the end of the mailbox, for the mailbox. And then the next day, I'm going to walk into our cul-de-sac. So I started setting little goals.
Wow.
And my wife, who's Melanie, she had to go with me. She had to literally help me down to walk. But guess what? I got better. And I got better. And I got better. And so, you know, it's a great lesson. Success is about, you know, choosing to do the hard things and being willing to do the hard things. And,
Yeah.
and to me, that's what success looks like. I mean,
Yeah, I heard somebody once say that discipline is doing the things you don't like to do,
oh yeah.
loving the things you don't like to do. I mean,
Absolutely, you love them because they make you better.
make you better,
Don't
yeah.
you love looking the way you look?
Yeah.
You look incredible.
Yeah.
That weight you lost. I love feeling like at my age, I'm 63.
God bless
I can
you.
move. I have energy. I can go up and I walk up and down the stairs. I can, you know, because I love that. Do I love every morning getting up? No, but I love what I get from the
Right.
discipline.
Looking for a powerful way to reach business leaders and engage consumers? The Joey Pinz podcast connects brands like yours with an audience that listens, engages, and takes action. High impact exposure with a fast growing loyal audience. Millions of views and listens across major platforms. Sponsors see increased brand awareness, trust, and conversations. We make sponsorships simple and effective with custom ad placements that fit your brand, deep audience engagement through authentic conversations, long-term exposure across podcast platforms and social media. Don't miss the opportunity to connect with your ideal customers. Visit joeypins.com/sponsor to secure your sponsorship today. Or you can email us at sales@joeypins.com. The Joey Pinz podcast, where conversations drive results. So happy when I saw you. Thank you so much for your time today. I think about you often, and I remember, I think the last time I saw you, we were at the Denver airport, and you were in one of the trains, and I don't know, you were a couple
Yes,
trains away,
yeah.
and we made eye contact.
I
and
remember
said, "Is
that."
And you were like, Joe Pano. You said you.
Joe, it was my Joe.
But we didn't get to see each
Well,
other. But I think that was the last time I saw.
Let me
you.
say this. I'm so proud of you. You're such a great leader. I've watched you grow, Joe.
Yeah,
I've
well,
watched
thank
you
you,
through the
thank
years.
you,
You're
thank you.
amazing. And,
Yeah.
and thank you for all you do. And you know, I hope we can do some stuff together. You got to get her on my podcast, the
Yes,
Relationships
certainly.
podcast. I want you
Certainly.
there. We're going to have a good time together. And
Anything I can do to help. Yeah. Anybody listening, how can they get in touch with you?
yes, thank you so much. EagleCenterForLeadership.com. EagleCenterForLeadership.com. We would love to help you. We work with companies of all sizes, and we help you to become stronger leaders in a variety of ways. So we'd love to help. And I love us. We're going to talk some more. I love
Absolutely.
the
Let's
next
rekindle.
podcast coming your way.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so
Take care.
much. Thank you. Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypins.com. There you'll find lots of resources and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.